Good day, class. This lecture video, I'll be discussing the cardiovascular system, or what we typically know as the circulatory system. So circulatory system or the cardiovascular system is the animal's internal transport system and defense network. So for the functions, basically the cardiovascular system transports oxygen, nutrients, wastes, and hormones to the different parts of the body, regulates temperature, pH balance, and then fluid balance. And it also protects the body through clotting by the platelets and the clotting proteins, and of course for through immune defense. The cardiovascular system, has three main parts: the heart, which acts like a pump. So this is the heart. The blood vessels, the red and the blue. These blood vessels serve as the transport network, or they're like highways through which blood flows. And then the blood, which is the transport medium, they carry oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and wastes to the different parts of the body. And if any of these components fail, the whole cardiovascular system is compromised. So let's discuss the heart first in more detail. Notice that we have chambers of the heart here. We have two atria. So atria is the plural, atrium is the singular, ventricles at the lower portion, or the below, or the bottom portion, bottom chambers, lower chambers. So we have here a picture of a pig heart. So dito sa taas, we have the right atrium, although it is not clearly visible in the picture. Dito usually ang position ng right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood. Ibig sabihin walang oxygen. So deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body through a vein which we call vena cava. And vena cava is the largest vein. And then from the right atrium, it travels to the right ventricle. So this one here is the right ventricle. Dito sa picture, ito yung right ventricle. Ang ginagawa naman ng right ventricle is it pumps the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. To the lungs, traveling through this big artery here, pulmonary artery. And then doon sa lungs, magpipick up ng oxygen yung blood. Okay? So itong right ventricle, as you can see, is thinner, mas manipis siya. Hindi siya masyadong kita dito. But if you are to look at this illustration, thinner ang walls ng right ventricle. Kasi nagpapump lang ito ng blood papunta sa lungs. Okay. Next, we move on to the left upper chamber, which we call the left atrium. Left atrium. It receives oxygenated blood naman. Yung right atrium, it receives deoxygenated blood. The left atrium receives oxygenated blood. So meron ng oxygen yung blood na dumadaloy dito. Kasi galing na siya sa lungs. And from the lungs, dumadaan siya sa pulmonary veins. And then we have here, dito sa baba niya, lower lower left chamber. Dito sa illustration, it is here. Ang function naman ng left ventricle is it pumps yung oxygen-rich blood na galing sa lungs to the different parts of the body. And then lalabas siya sa lungs through the largest artery, which we call the aorta. Notice that it has thicker walls than the right ventricle. So in here, it has thicker walls because it must generate strong pressure from the heart to supply the whole body with blood. Okay. Next, another structure here is the septum. Sometimes we call this as interventricular septum because it's between two ventricles. So it's just a dividing wall between the right side and the left sides. And then we have here chordae tendineae, or in layman's terms, this is your heartstrings. So the chordae tendineae prevent valves. Meron tayong valves sa heart. Yung mga valves, they prevent backflow. So the chordae tendineae prevent valves from flipping backward. So we have here a picture, notice, no? We have here a picture of a parachute. So yung chordae tendineae, parang ito yung ropes or yung strings ng parachute to keep Itong sa taas na portion, we call this, ito yung mismo yung parachute, to keep it open so that it stays open. And syempre controlled siya, controlled yung movement. And these are the chordae tendineae. And we also have here papillary muscles. So dito sa parachute na ito, ang papillary muscles is parang yung ito, skydiver. Okay. So yung papillary muscles, kumbaga ang role ng papillary muscles is to hold tight yung chordae tendineae. Because once the chordae tendineae, this one, or the ropes, magko-collapse itong parachute. Ganon din yung mangyayari dito. Magko-collapse din yung valve dito sa heart kung hindi nagwo-work na properly yung chordae tendineae. Next, this is the external view of the heart naman. So yung wala doon sa previous slide, we have the base. The base is the top portion of the heart. This is where major blood vessels enter, particularly yung mga aorta and the vena cava. So enter and leave, of course. Enter is for the vena cava and leave for the aorta. Ano pa? It serves as the entry and exit gates of blood circulation. And then we also have here, dito sa bottom, pointed bottom of the heart. This is the apex portion. Dito, nafe-feel yung strongest heartbeat, which we typically call apical beat. So base, the top, apex naman sa pointed bottom. Next, we have here pulmonary trunk. So yung pulmonary trunk, ito yung nag-i-split into left and the right pulmonary arteries going to the lungs. And then I mentioned ko earlier that we have valves in the heart. The function of the valves, they act like one-way doors. That means they keep blood flowing in only one direction through the heart and to prevent backflow. What are the valves? We have the pulmonary valve, tricuspid valve, mitral valve, and aortic valve. Okay, so itong tricuspid valve and mitral valve, they keep blood moving in the right direction between the atria and ventricles. This is your atrium, correct? This is your ventricle. So, the movement of blood is from the atrium to the ventricle. So, ang silbi ng mitral valve dito sa part na to is to prevent backflow of blood from the ventricle pabalik. So again, movement of blood is from left atrium to the left ventricle. So kumbaga ang nagsisilbing checkpoint dito is the mitral valve para maiwasan na bumalik ang blood pabalik from the left ventricle to the left atrium. That's your mitral valve. Now your mitral valve, other term niya is bicuspid valve. Bicuspid because it has two cusps. Nakikita mo dito, two cusps, one, two. Yung tricuspid valve, of course, it has three. Kasi nga tricuspid. So, two. So, three cusps. One, two, and three. Do not interchange. Mitral valve is for the left portion or left side, and then tricuspid is for the right. So, yung tricuspid valve naman, parang lang din, ang function niya ay parang yung mitral valve. So, yung tricuspid valve prevents the backflow of blood from right ventricle to the right atrium. Kasi ang flow dapat ng blood is atrium to ventricle. So, para maiwasan na bumalik, papunta sa atrium, meron tayong tricuspid valve. Another valve is pulmonary valve. Ang pulmonary valve naman is siya yung parang nagiging checkpoint dito. So pulmonary is regulate flow of blood out of the heart. So from the right ventricle, palabas siya, correct, to the going. So from the right ventricle, going to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. Para hindi bumalik ang blood, papunta sa right ventricle, galing dito sa uh, vessel na to, meron tayong parang gate or checkpoint dito and that is called pulmonary valve. And then sa kabila, we have the aortic valve. Aortic valve is just to regulate the flow of heart from the ventricle to the aorta. So aorta. So kung parang magiging checkpoint siya para hindi bumalik ang blood na lumabas sa left ventricle pabalik. We do not want that there is leaking back or backflow because blood circulation would be inefficient if the valves, mitral valve, aortic valve, pulmonary valve, and tricuspid valves non-functioning. Next, blood vessels naman tayo. So yung blood vessels, they are the transport network. So dito dumadaan yung blood. So they are called the roads of the cardiovascular system. We have arteries. So three types of blood vessels. We have arteries, veins, and capillaries. Basically, the arteries carry blood away from your heart. Usually, the blood they carry are oxygenated blood. If you look at the structure, thicker yung walls. So it's not, hindi siya masyadong ma-compare dito, but arteries have thicker walls. They have more muscular walls and elastic walls para ma-withstand ang high pressure galing sa heart. Arteries have high pressure because they are the first vessels, if you are to look at first vessels that receive blood straight from the pumping action of the heart. Kasi nga arteries carry blood away from the heart. So, yun yung unang dinadaanan ng blood galing sa heart. So, mabilis ang flow of blood through the arteries. Kaya mabilis? Of course, to forcefully distribute yung blood to the different parts of the body. Because the different parts of the body need blood. Because yung blood, it carries yung oxygen, nutrients, and mga hormones. Next, veins naman, veins return blood to the heart. Usually, the blood that goes to the heart, back to the heart is deoxygenated. Your veins here, they are, they have wider internal spaces and mas manipis. Mas manipis kasi wala silang kailangang withstand na high pressure. So that means they just have low pressure here. Bakit low pressure? Kasi pabalik na sila sa heart. Yung blood na dumadaloy dito ay going back to the heart na. Okay? So, they are far naman from the heart's pumping force. What else? We have capillaries. Capillaries, these are tiny, tiny blood vessels, even smaller than your veins. So, capillaries, this is the smallest, thinnest blood vessels, and it is the exchange points of gases, nutrients, mga oxygen, carbon dioxide that leave blood, and of course, waste center. No? So ito yung mga capillaries, ito yung arteries, and this is the veins. Next, para mas madali ninyong ma-memorize kung ano yung daanan ng blood away from the heart and back to the heart, we have here a mnemonic. So arteries are away from the heart. No? Arteries are away, veins visit back the heart, and capillaries connect. Connect meaning the capillaries connect the arteries and the veins para magkaroon ng exchange of nutrients, gases, hormones, and wastes. Kaya makikita mong nagmi-meet ang red and blue here. So connect and change. Change what? Change or exchange gases and nutrients, wastes, and of course your hormones. And then you can see here arterioles. Arterioles, these are just the smaller arteries that connect arteries and capillaries. And then we have venules. Venules, these are smaller veins that connect with capillaries. So once again, mnemonic, arteries are away, veins visit back the heart, capillaries connect and exchange. Next, another component of the cardiovascular system is blood. So the blood does three important jobs or functions. It transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and wastes, as I always reiterate. It protects what? Protects immune cells and clotting factors. It regulates temperature, pH balance, fluid balance, yung mga ganun. And then you have here, you can see here, a tube containing the components of the blood. You see plasma, which comprises 55% of our blood. 45% of our blood is made up of the red blood cells, and then only 1% ay 1% ay yung white blood cells and platelets. And each of these components have a specialized role. Okay? So ito yung components. Plasma is just the liquid portion of the blood, red blood cells, and then These are the solid portions, the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So yung mga dumadaloy ay yung mga blood cell components. So dinadaluyan nila, o kung kumbaga yung kanilang liquid portion, that's your plasma. Your red blood cells, also known as erythrocytes, they look like biconcave discs. That means biconcave, ganito yung itsura. Para siyang merong hollow na portion dito sa gitna or sunken na portion. Biconcave disc, specifically in mammals. So mammals, that's your livestock, that's your goat, sheep, uh, pigs, etc. And in birds, you see here, ganito yung kanilang nucleus, mas oval shape. And, sorry, ganito yung kanilang red blood cells. They are oval in shape and meron silang nucleus. Sa red blood cells ng mammals, they are non-nucleated. So, non-nucleated meaning walang nucleus yung red blood cells to accommodate more hemoglobin. Okay, next. Of course, the function of your erythrocytes or your red blood cells, they carry oxygen from the lungs to the different tissues of the body. And of course, they also transport carbon dioxide back to the lungs. Next, we have your white blood cells or your WBCs or your leukocytes. Your leukocytes, they are larger in size. Meron silang nucleus na makikita. And then they have 5 types which we will discuss in detail later on. And then ang kanilang function is they defend your body against infection. They defend the body of the farm animals against infection, parasites, allergens, and they provide also long-term immunity. For the platelets are also known as thrombocytes. They are smaller in terms of size, mas yung structure nila is disc shape, mas they look like cellular fragments, and they are nucleated in birds. So, ang function ng platelets or thrombocytes is for blood clotting. Okay, so blood clotting para ma-stop yung bleeding, and then of course, platelets are very essential because they prevent excessive bleeding during injury. Now, speaking of white blood cells, white blood cells can be categorized into two, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes, they're called granulocytes because you see visible granules here in their cytoplasm when viewed under the microscope. Pure granulocytes, they're the neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. So basically they are just your quick fighters, no? Granulocytes. And then agranulocytes from the term agra. So meaning wala, none. So they don't have visible granules in their cytoplasm pag view natin sila sa microscope. So kung yung granulocytes natin, they are your quick fighters. Yung agranulocytes, they provide long-term defense and clean up. Okay? So let's discuss each type of white blood cell in detail. First, we have here neutrophil. So ang palatandaan is nagbigay ako dito, nilagay ko. Neutrophil starts with N. They are your number one responders. Kumbaga, frontliners sila. And among these 5, sila yung mas pinakamarami in terms of number. So they are the most numerous white blood cells in most farm animals. Since they are the number one responders, they're the frontliners. That means they are the first to arrive at the site of infection or injury. So ang ginagawa nila is they phagocytosize or phagocytose rather. They helps in phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is, so phago meaning eating, and cyto referring to cell. So kinakain nila yung cell. They eat the cell. They eat and destroy bacteria and fungi by phagocytosis. Next, we have eosinophil. Eosinophil starts with E. They are the enemies of worms. Worms meaning parasites. Enemies of parasitic infections. So that means they specialize in fighting parasitic infections or also in allergy defense. They control allergic reactions. So how do they control allergic reactions or how do they perform allergy defense? They release toxic proteins and enzymes that damage parasites. Next naman, basophils. Basophils starts with B. they begin allergic responses by releasing histamine. So, that means ang unang or ang dahilan kung bakit or ang type of white blood cell kung bakit nakakaramdam ka ng pangati, allergy is because dumadami, nag-i-increase yung basophils because they release histamine. So, histamine and other chemicals during inflammation and allergy. Kumbaga, during allergic reaction, ang una, kumbaga, ang digito'y basophils so dati mangirugi ti allergic reaction, causing yung redness, swelling, and itchiness doon sa area na merong allergy. But of course, yung mga basophils, they are the least common type of white blood cells. So neutrophils, they are the most common type of white blood cells. Basophils, they are the least common type of white blood cells, but they are very powerful. No. Next, we have lymphocytes. Lymphocytes naman starts with L. So what do they provide? They provide long-term immunity. They provide specific defenses and memory against infections. So natatandaan nila kung ano yung infection na nilalabanan nila. Okay, so lymphocyte yun. And then lastly is monocyte. Monocyte starts with M. So they are your macrophage makers. So sila yung tinatawag nating clean up crew. Bakit clean up crew? Because they clean up by engulfing yung mga dead cells, dead bacteria, at saka mga debris. Ang typical example para mas maintindihan nyo, after the horning ng cattle, for example, itong mga monocytes na to, they clean up dead tissue and help doon sa wound healing or halimbawa, sugatan kayo, tapos, meron kayo nakikitang dead tissue doon sa sugat ninyo. Ang nag, kumbaga, ang inaction na white blood cells sila yung mga monocytes natin. They help na mag-heal yung wound. So, yung mga monocytes, they circulate in blood and then move into tissue, syempre, kung saan sila kailangan. By the way, before we move further, no, maalala ko lang, konti lang, 1% lang, doon sa blood cells natin, ang white blood cells and platelets. Kasi, saka lang sila nag increase kapag kailangan ng system natin. No? So, marami yung red blood cells, of course, because yung kanilang function is to deliver oxygen for exchange of nutrients, ganyan. So, our system needs those nutrients, hormones, and so on and so forth. But your white blood cells, function kasi ng white blood cell is for defense, for fighting against infection. So, syempre, kung makikita mo meron kang increase in white blood cells, ibig sabihin meron kang infection. So, they just maintain a low percentage. Saka lang sila nag-increase doon sa blood kung kailangan ng system. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Next, we move on to circulation pathways. Our farm animals have double circulation. We have pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So basically, pulmonary circulation, it sends blood. So from the heart, it sends blood to the lungs for oxygen. Pulmonary referring to lungs. So na nagpo-flow ang blood patungo sa lungs para may oxygen. And then systemic naman referring to the different systems of the body. The blood flows from, or the heart pumps blood to the different systems of the body na. Para ma-send or ma-transport yung blood with oxygen to the rest of the body. Now, meron tayo nakikita na red at saka blue and violet vessels. This is just to show you that ano yung kinikerry nila na blood. So yung blue, these are blood vessels that transport the oxygenated blood. And yung red naman, they transport oxygenated blood to the different parts of the body. And your violet, these are the blood vessels, your capillaries that are involved in gas exchange. Okay, next. This is very important, no? Blood circulation. Dapat alam natin ano yung, kumbaga, step by step, ano yung mga dinadaanan, specific chambers, specific parts, specific valves, specific arteries ng blood. Okay. So we have to, tawag dito, we have to know the proper flow of blood through the heart and the body by heart. No? So nilagay ko dito as our guide. And let's use this as an illustration for our discussion for this specific slide. So una, meron tayong deoxygenated blood na galing sa different parts of the body. Yung deoxygenated blood, papasok siya through, papasok, papasok, papasok or enters the right atrium through this vena cava. Through this vena cava, once again, na-mention ko earlier that vena cava is the largest vein. Vena cava, superior vena cava is from the taas. Ibig sabihin yung blood ay galing sa upper portion. From the head, from the forelimbs, doon galing ang blood. And then sa baba, meron din. Meron tayong caudal vena cava. Caudal or inferior vena cava. Caudal, we can also call this as your cranial vena cava because it originates from the head. O, ulit. Vena cava, superior and inferior, deliver blood, deoxygenated blood from the body to the right atrium. Papunta siya sa right atrium. And then sa right atrium, magko-contract. Ipupush ang blood papunta sa right ventricle. Dadaan ang blood sa valve, tricuspid valve. So once again, body, papunta sa right atrium, dadaan sa tricuspid valve, papasok sa right ventricle. And then your right ventricle pumps blood through this pulmonary valve. Papasok, dadaan siya sa pulmonary artery. Remember, arteries are away from the heart. So, pulmonary artery, from the term pulmonary, papunta yung blood sa heart. So, sa lungs, no? Right ventricle, dadaan sa pulmonary valve, pulmonary artery, going to the lungs. And doon sa lungs, blood releases carbon dioxide and kukuha siya ng oxygen. So that ang papasok sa left atrium through the pulmonary vein ay oxygenated blood. I hope you are not confused. So that ang papasok, so from the lungs, babalik. So from the lungs, yung blood, pipick up siya ng oxygen. And then, yung blood na galing sa lungs, babalik ulit sa heart through the pulmonary vein. Papasok sa left atrium. No. Papasok sa left atrium, and then from the left atrium, pupunta sa left ventricle, pero dadaan siya sa mitral valve or bicuspid valve. And then, yung left ventricle, siya yung magpapump ng blood. Strongly pumps the blood. Oxygen-rich blood ang nasa left ventricle. Since oxygen-rich blood ang nasa left ventricle, ang ipapump ni left ventricle, papunta siya sa different parts of the body na. Through itong blood vessel, large blood vessel na aorta. Pero syempre, bago siya dumaan sa aorta, meron mo ng checkpoint dito na tinatawag nating aortic valve. So, from the left ventricle, passing through the aortic valve, dadaloy siya ngayon sa aorta, and then madidistribute na siya to the different parts of the body. And then, the cycle repeats. Kapag na-distribute na siya to different parts of the body, babalik na ulit siya sa right atrium. Okay? Babalik siya as deoxygenated blood. So, parang ganito. So, from the different parts of the body, dadaan siya sa right atrium. Meron siyang dadaanan na valve, we call the tricuspid valve. And then pupunta siya sa right ventricle. And then from the right ventricle, meron siyang dadaanan na valve, we call that the pulmonary valve. And then, dadaan siya sa pulmonary artery para makapunta sa lungs, kung saan mangyayari yung exchange of gases. Pipick up siya ngayon ng oxygen. Iiwan niya yung carbon dioxide. So, kapag na-pick up na niya yung oxygen, dadaloy siya sa veins, particularly pulmonary vein. And then itong pulmonary vein, yung blood rather, na dumaan sa pulmonary vein, babalik siya sa, or pupunta siya sa left atrium. And, saan na yung cursor? And then sa left atrium, meron lang siyang dadaanan valve. We call that your mitral valve or your bicuspid valve. Pupunta siya sa left ventricle. And your left ventricle, remember, since it has thicker walls, mas elastic and muscular yung walls niya, strong yung kanyang pumping para, so magpapump ngayon itong left ventricle para itong oxygen-rich blood na galing sa lungs ay mai-distribute to the different parts of the body through the aorta. Pero syempre, before siya dumaloy sa aorta, meron siyang dadaanan na valve. We call that your aortic valve. So may distribute yung blood to the different parts of the body. And then, the cycle repeats. So that's how interesting blood circulation is. So very important na sunod-sunod yung flow. Please memorize that or memorize that by heart, know that by heart para alam ninyo yung proper flow. Because if, for example, you will be writing yung step by step or yung flow ng blood, nilalagay ninyo, halimbawa, right atrium, then left atrium, then right ventricle, then left, wrong. Mali na ulit yon. Mamamatay na yung hayop kasi mali yung flow ng blood. And remember, blood is the one that transports nutrients responsible for exchange of gases, oxygen, and carbon dioxide to the different parts of the body. And then, lastly, we have common cardiovascular issues in farm animals. And these are cardiovascular problems that directly affect farm productivity. First is, of course, your heat stress. Heat stress is usually common in pigs and poultry. Yung heat stress, it speeds up heart rate but reduces growth and egg production. So too much heat, wag masyadong mainit, it forces yung puso, yung heart to work harder. Especially sa, yung na-mention ko na, pigs and poultry. Next, anemia. So anemia in goats and sheep from parasitic infection. So kapag meron silang parasitic infection, they are prone to anemia. Kasi yung parasites, they compete with the nutrients, with oxygen, etc. So kung merong anemia, it reduces oxygen delivery. Konti lang yung RBCs or red blood cells, hemoglobin due to parasites. So hindi ko na-mention itong hemoglobin kanina, correct? So hemoglobin, this is the red pigment in the blood. So ito yung reason kung bakit red ang kulay ng red blood cell. So ito yung tumutulong na mag-pick up ng oxygen, ng gases, and mag-distribute different parts of the body ng oxygen. Okay? So, yan, syempre anemia. Pag mababa yung red blood cells, nagkakaroon ng weak animals and productive animals, which will uh, eventually cause, of course, yung negatively affect farm productivity. Another is heart failure in broilers. This leads to ascites. No? Ascites or yung tinatawag natin, this is more commonly called water belly. This is actually a welfare and economic problem because heart failure in broilers um, is a production issue, meaning to say, mabilis kasi masyadong mag-grow yung mga broilers natin and hindi niya, kumbaga, makumpasan ang um, heart capacity. So, hindi kaya ng ventricle. Right ventricle cannot cope with the rapid growth. Mabilis lumaki. Higher metabolic rate of broilers. So, ang nangyayari, nagkakaroon sila ng muscle belly because of the back pressure from the heart, causing building up of fluid in the abdomen. Kaya siya tinawag na water belly. Next, circulatory shock. So, circulatory shock is caused by severe blood loss, especially during accidents, ano pa, dehorning, castration, dystocia, or dystocia is your difficulty in giving birth. And this can cause uh, animals to die, no? Because there is severe blood loss. So kung merong severe blood loss, what happens is there's insufficient blood volume na magsisirculate to the different parts of the body. So circulatory shock is actually an emergency. That means the animal can collapse and die within minutes. No. So these are the common cardiovascular issues. And to wrap up yung na-discuss natin, we have discussed the functions, what are the components of the cardiovascular system, and we discussed each component in detail. And of course, by understanding the cardiovascular system or the circulatory system that allows us to manage animal health, welfare, and productivity. So always remember, a healthy heart means a healthy herd. So that would be all for our discussion on the cardiovascular system. Thank you very much, everyone.